Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's Matthew here with Steven, and this is the Casual Smarks podcast after a crappy episode of Raw. I don't even want to do this. I am upset
The
right
same
now.
thing every week. So Raw's leading up to WrestleMania, and we've been saying the crap every week.
It was so underwhelming. Last year, I didn't think it could get worse than the tug of war, and arguably you can make a case it didn't, but still, you got 2 years in a row where they pretty much threw away the Go Home Raw to, on the road to WrestleMania, or the Go Home Raw for WrestleMania. It boggles my mind. I mean, we're gonna get through this podcast today. We will. I don't know what God has done to us, or what grudge He has against wrestling fans, but we've had to deal with this for months now, and we will get through it. So, what did you think of Raw?
Sucked.
I mean, well, you know what? Let's dive into it. We're going to tell you why we were at least at the very least underwhelmed with this episode of Raw. But we'll start off with probably the high note of the night, which was the opening segment. It was an Undertaker and Shane McMahon promo, and it opened up with Taker, which was cool. You had the Brooklyn crowd, you heard the gong, everyone was like,
so much productive crap during his entrance. You don't even know.
Yeah, no, exactly. And while he's making his entrance, you can go take your dump or work on some homework. It gives you plenty of time to get your other priorities in line. I'm just kidding. I love Taker. Well, I like Taker. But anyways, no, but this opens up. Taker comes out saying basically, hey, this WrestleMania isn't going to be my last, despite what Vince says. And Vince is not only is Vince's son's blood going to be on his hands, but Vince's blood is going to be on his hands. Basically, Undertaker's foreshadowing, hey, you know what? I might beat Shane, but that doesn't mean I'm working for Vince, and I'll just as easily kick Vince's ass. I don't know. I don't see why Vince couldn't just fire him if he did that. Like, Vince is already threatening, to cut him from the company if he loses to Shane. So I'm assuming if Undertaker laid hand on Vince again, he could get fired. But whatever, nonetheless. Here, I'm going to get through this really quick. But yeah, no, basically, he states that WrestleMania is his yard and Hell in a Cell is his house, and Shane will rest in peace. Steven, I got to ask you something. Last time I checked, he said WrestleMania is his yard, right? He said WrestleMania is his yard. All right. He said Hell in a Cell is his house, right? Didn't he lose to Brock Lesnar in both of those things? I don't think they're his things anymore. In fact, I'm pretty sure
that's why the crowd was chanting Suplex City.
Yeah, and that is why the crowd was chanting Suplex City. Just a little side note. No disrespect to Taker. He's one of the greatest of all time.
What's wrong with this whole segment is, good segment, all that.
We haven't even talked about
a little bit later. Yeah, exactly. Shane is Vince's bitch, and so is The Undertaker.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. Shane came out and said he's fighting to win, and Taker is not fighting to lose. So basically saying, hey, I have more reason to want to win this match than you want to lose. Then you want to win this match. He says he's going to be the instrument of change that the WWE universe has been waiting for. And then Taker calls Shane bitch boy, holy shit chance, blah, blah, blah. But exactly what Steven said. It pretty much culminated in Undertaker calling Shane Vince's bitch. Which last week wasn't Undertaker's Vince's bitch? What are your thoughts?
It's repetitive. I knew it was coming. That's all I got on it because I just knew it was coming.
It didn't. Okay, to me personally, you could tell who's scripting the segments, right? I mean, I know that's been said I know that's been said everywhere, but I mean, it's worth bringing up. I mean, Vince is feeding his ego of his feud. This feud is centered around Vince. It's not even about Undertaker and Shane really anymore. I mean, it's about Shane. Taker's kind of just a third wheel, right? I mean, really.
Yeah, I still don't know why this match isn't the main event at WrestleMania.
Yeah, dude, I gotta. Dude, straight up. I mean, do you think this match is going to go on last? I think they kind of alluded to. I think Triple H in his promo later alluded to he is still the main event. But
yeah,
how does that make sense?
They're definitely the main event. It makes no sense at all.
And don't get me wrong, I'm
the
in
title match should go on last, but not in this case.
I'm in that camp where exactly what you said, that the title match, typically should go on last. But I mean, honestly, it should be the match with the most stakes, and the title match should usually be the match with the most stakes. But when you have the company on the line, the company's a bigger prize than the title. And I mean, in all honesty, if you run the show,
Yep.
yeah, I'm telling you, man. But anyways, yeah. So we get a brawl, and I mean, the brawl was cool. Shane McMahon, he still needs to work on his punches. I mean, I love him, but if he's doing Muay Thai and judo, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he's doing all this MMA training, and those are the strikes he throws, I'm not buying it. I hope he doesn't get in a real fight. Let me put it that way. But yeah, no, to me, he looked kind of gassed by the end of this. But then again, maybe that was just him selling, which would be good, because the Undertaker shouldn't be a piece of cake, and Shane could put in a decent beating on the Undertaker in this segment.
So after Undertaker called Shane McMahon his bitch, he called him a bitch boy and his bitch. Undertaker threw the punches, or no, Shane threw the punches because his punches are really, really great. It escalated outside of the ring where Shane got Undertaker Undertaker was going for a last ride on Shane. Shane got out of it, pushed Undertaker against the table, hit him with a monitor, and jumped off the top rope and broke the table. But his elbow, I'm telling you, did not hit the Undertaker. This is the Undertaker. This is where his elbow landed. So good camera angles on the WWE's part.
Yeah, no, I saw the same thing. Yeah, it did not look like... Okay, rewatch it back. Not that it matters, because, I mean, it is, at the end of the day, it is a kind of fake regardless. But I don't think Shane's elbow got anywhere near the Undertaker. That was pretty bad. But it was cool. It was cool. I will give him that. And the fact that Shane's doing that at 48, he got some, height on that. I mean, it was pretty cool. But yeah, no, Shane, like we had mentioned, ended up getting the upper hand. This leads me to believe that Taker might be winning on Sunday, because we know how the WWE typically, likes to give heat to the person. Basically, you get heat on the person who's going to lose. So when the person who who got beat up wins, it's a bigger deal. But I don't know. Maybe that's what they want us to think. I could see some reverse psychology here. I honestly, this is going to be like the Sting Triple H match from last year. There's going to be a lot of wacky crap that happens, a lot of shenanigans. But we're not going to get too much into predictions on this podcast, because we do have a predictions podcast coming up on Thursday. Or no, for WrestleMania, is it Saturday or Friday?
For what?
Prediction podcast for WrestleMania.
We'll figure that out.
All right, for sure. We do know for sure that we are going to have coverage on. We're going to have an NXT Takeover Dallas prediction video on Thursday, and then on Friday we're going to do a post Takeover Dallas coverage. So stay tuned for that. But anyways, moving forward, we come from this decent segment. Pretty good way to open up the show. Could have been better, could have been worse, but it was decent. We go from that to Zack Ryder standing tall in the ring, nice and strong. What do you think? Hey, how do you feel about them keeping up the momentum between segments there?
Okay, I'm tweeting out the podcast right now. So what are we talking about?
Exactly. No, what you just said exactly kind of embodies this Raw, by the way.
So go follow our Twitter page, and you can ask us questions at CasualSmarks, CasualSmarks.
But no, we cut to Zack Ryder in the ring, and then we get a Jericho Ryder match, and we get AJ interfering mid-match, and AJ is continuing this feud of chants. On one side, you have
Y2 Jackass.
On one side, you have Y2 Jackass, and on the other side, you have
AJ Styles.
God. I mean, that's literally what this feud has been about. That's been the build. Oh, man. But, I mean, Styles got a pretty good reaction, and he talks about how he's not going to leave till he gets what he wants. So yeah, no. Zack Ryder won with a roll up off of a AJ Styles distraction. So we got a Zack Ryder pinfall victory on Raw.
Yeah, this was basically because he's in the IC title match WrestleMania, and I mean it was decent.
They had to give him heat. Yeah, I mean, it kind of gave him credence
Yeah, a
as
little
to
bit.
why
Plus,
he's
it
even.
made the match official, which we need to rant about because once again, they always do this thing where the face makes fun of the heel, and then the heel's like, "Oh no, you ain't gonna call me that. All right, we're having this match."
Oh my god. Yeah. So not only did they do that, Steve. I mean, this is the second time they've done it with the same two people.
Yeah, they did it
Basically,
with Ric
they
Flair.
allowed AJ Styles to goat um, Y2J into a match that Y2J repeatedly said that he wasn't going to accept. I mean, what last week Y2J said he would rather, just sit out of WrestleMania altogether than give AJ Styles a chance to have his WrestleMania moment at Y2J's expense. And now this week you had, Y2 Jackass. You had Y2 Jackass chance, and now Y2J's like, "Oh, you're hurting my feelings. You're going to get your What? He looks like a total imbecile. He looked like a total imbecile.
Yeah.
And that being said, we have Y2J versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania now. So, I mean, it's not like we didn't know we were going to get that match already, but it's official, like Steven said. Now, moving forward, we have a Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch match.
Charlotte versus Becky.
Damn.
Sasha just sat there at ringside and did nothing.
Wow. Yeah, I know you're damn right. It definitely was Charlotte. I'm slipping today. We had Charlotte versus Becky Lynch, and Bay Banks is at ringside. So this match, it was there. I mean, it was a good match, but I mean, the crowd they were chanting, "We want Sasha" during the match and stuff like that. So I mean, it could have been better. But basically, the finish of this match, Ric Flair pulled Becky's leg for the distraction. Charlotte hit the natural selection and then pinned her clean. And then that was about it. I mean, all I got to say, and we'll cover it more in the prediction video, but all I got to say is I've liked the build to this feud. I think it's been one of the better builds out of all, even the main events.
Lasted a while.
I mean, it's at least you could probably say the Shane Undertaker build, even though it's been lackluster, has still probably been the best built. And then I would say this was probably the second best built feud going in the WrestleMania, and it definitely has show stealing potential. I mean, it could. I'm not saying it will, but it has a chance. But that's all that there is to that segment. Next, we cut backstage to Vince McMahon. And just a quick rundown of the promo that Vince cuts. He says basically that Shane Shane did out there when he elbowed Undertaker through the table was anger the Undertaker. And that's the type of Undertaker he wants representing him. And then Shane interrupts and then basically talks about how, hey, Vince, you stole the company from your father. I'm going to take it from you in this match. So yeah, I mean, just kind of building off what we said about the opening segment. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how this ends up. I don't know. There's so many different ways they can finish this feud. Let's hope they don't take they just don't have Taker win straight up and that's it. That would suck. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want Taker to win under any circumstances, but if it's just like a car crash match and Taker wins, that would kind of be disappointing. But
what did we have next?
Yeah, is that all you? There's really nothing else to say.
Yeah, nothing to talk about. I'm not. I told you guys I'd be wearing a new wrestling shirt every podcast, but guess what? The show doesn't deserve a new shirt.
Oh dang! Oh my God, man! Raw was bad when it starts influencing your wardrobe choices. Wow, that was a tongue twister. Wardrobe choices. There you go. No. Next segment. Probably the most important segment of the night. What do you think the next segment is, Steve?
Golden Truth?
Oh no, it's better.
No, I have no idea.
We have the Social Outcast versus Big Show and Kane.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this.
Filler match of the century.
Nah, no, it wasn't. The match later was the filler match of the century.
We'll
That
get there.
lasted a full 23 minutes.
Yeah, no, we have Outcast versus Big Show and Kane. I didn't have a problem with the match. It was filler, but I didn't have a problem with it because it
But
it accomplished a few things. It cooled
but
down the
guess
crowd.
what? Kane didn't freaking
Tell me what I
chokeslam
was
the
going
Big
to say it was
Show.
going to accomplish.
Nothing. Kane
No, it accomplished
chokeslammed the
a
Big
couple
Show
things, I think.
last week, and this week they're best buds.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. There's no continuity to this show, man. No
Continuity.
continuity. But no, it accomplished a couple things. It established the participants in the battle royal, and it looks like we have pretty much 16 of the 20, and you can assume the Wyatts are going to take up another 3 of those. And maybe the last slot will be, maybe a winner of an NXT tournament like last year. Yeah, no, it accomplished that. And basically, it was just there to cool down the crowd before the next segment, which I assumed was going to be Triple H and Roman Reigns, and it was Triple H and Roman Reigns part 1, because we get 2 parts of Triple H and Roman Reigns in this amazing edition of Raw. But yeah, no, that's it. Moving on, we do have Triple H and Roman Reigns, and Triple H comes out and cuts the same promo that he's been cutting for the last month and a half. Basically saying, hey, you guys are all stupid for having dreams, and I'm better than you because I'm wearing a suit, and I got the champion, and I'm a millionaire. All right, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, we've heard it all before. And then you have predictive. Oh, actually, when was the last time we ever saw Roman Reigns interrupt an authority promo, Steve?
I had no idea, actually. I'm pretty sure that never happens. This is a fairly new thing.
Maybe, catch this. If you watch last week's Raw, I know. Watch last week's Raw. The first segment.
He did the same thing.
Yeah, so you have Roman Reigns come out. He doesn't say much. He's getting booed out of the building, and it's to be expected. They're in Brooklyn, and just look at the way this man's been built. No, we'll get into that in the main event. I have a huge. Oh my god, I got a huge freaking rant. I'm just ready, steaming. Like, I'm just ready to go off right now about Roman Reigns.
Faces and heel?
Oh my gosh.
We got to rant about the faces and heel thing.
Yeah. I will say I liked Triple H in this segment talked about how he was, obsessed with being the champion and obsessed with being the best. And I think that, okay, you remember when Triple H, I think when Triple H won the Royal Rumble, like the night after that, the second half of his promo last night should have been the promo he cut the night after he won the champion at the Royal Rumble. Then he could have also been like, Seth Rollins couldn't do it. Sheamus couldn't do it, so I had to do it myself. Like, that would have been cool. Like, that's what Triple H should have. That's what he should have been for the last couple months, not just last night. But yeah, no, Roman Reigns interrupts the heat. Huge Roman sucks chance. You get kind of like a showdown. And then, Triple H escapes. Stephanie's in the ring with Roman Reigns. Could you imagine the pop Roman would have got if he would have hit Stephanie there? I was waiting for. I know you can't do it. I know it's WWE PG and you don't want, violence against women. But I'm telling you right now, he would have got a huge pop.
Hey, like the Wrestling Inc. podcast said, have Eva Marie versus Roman Reigns.
That could work too. Yeah, but yeah, no. It's funny because, like I said, Roman came out. He didn't say much. And it was obvious that they were protecting him because it was obvious they didn't want him to be out there for that long. Because if he was out there for a long time, he would have, just got booed out of the building. Boggles my mind. We'll get to that later. Anyways, next we have Kofi Kingston versus Alberto Del Rio. New Day was. Hey, honestly, here's this match. Here's the relevance of this match. New Day was over big in Brooklyn.
Oh yeah.
Do you have anything else to add?
Yeah. Every week, every member of the New Day has beat the League of Nations. When does the League of Nations beat them?
Maybe WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's where I'm leaning toward. It's not even a title match, so that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
but I don't want to see Enzo and Cass versus the League of Nations. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
I feel like they need a lot of development on the main roster though, like before they win. I don't want them to win right away.
It's weird because I don't see how the New Day like who are the heels that they face after if they beat the League of Nations after WrestleMania? There's no big heels. They're not going to face the Dudleys again. No one wants to see that.
Hey man, if the Dudleys get the win on the pre-show.
Yeah, maybe. Not the day that happens, man. We'll see. But yeah, no, I mean that's pretty much it. Coach came out and announced that Sports Center is going to be there, so tune in to Sports Center if you want more than 7 hours of WrestleMania on Sunday. Ooh, jeez. Yeah, and that's it. Then we have Roman Reigns backstage. He's about to, cut a promo, but you see Bubba Ray Dudley, and Bubba Ray's like, "Hey, Roman, come over here," and Roman's like, "Okay, I'm gonna kick your ass," and then predictably he gets assaulted 3-on-1.
Yeah,
So
this is because they had a match on SmackDown and ended in DQ.
Yeah. Yeah, it was continuation off of SmackDown, but it was more so like Triple H obviously was using the Dudleys to goad him into
So is Roman stupid?
Well, I mean, at least the way they book him, yeah. They also book him to be selfish because he never comes out and helps his friends when they're in trouble.
And an underdog.
Yeah. Oh God. Wait. We will wait. We will get there. But I mean, I wasn't sympathetic at all for Roman in this segment because why should I be? It was obvious what they were going to do. There wasn't any creativity to that. Then we get Kalisto versus Connor. So that happened. Kalisto won, by the way. And then we get Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose, which, I mean, probably was the second best segment of the night, but that's not really saying much. You had Paul Heyman come out and cut his promo that he always cuts, which I thought was really good last night. Some people are getting tired of them. I'm not getting tired of them. I enjoy listening to them, but I can understand how it could be getting stale. And
Lesnar just gets paid to chill. But you got to talk about how Dean Ambrose came out.
Huh? Oh yeah, that's. I know. I was just waiting to see what you were gonna say in response. Yeah, no. Next we got. Then you have Dean Ambrose coming out. He came out with a wagon and started like shopping for weapons.
Yeah, theme song just kept rolling.
Yeah, the theme song kept rolling. He didn't say a single word, which is kind of what he should have done. I'm happy he didn't say anything. It was kind of cool. He just ignored Lesnar was there in the first place. Took out the chainsaw. Do you think we see that chainsaw used on Sunday?
No. At least not turned on.
He might cut a table or a turnbuckle or a rope or something. You never know. He could do something. Or I mean, I guess he can use the back end of it to hit Lesnar in the head or something. But I mean, still, if you have a chainsaw, it's kind of I don't know. But yeah, no. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool. But this match should be really fun to watch on Sunday. I think it's had a decent build, and I mean, you got two big names, and it's going to be pretty much, a really good match. So, which is that's terrible analysis. Basically, it's a no DQ match with two people who are going to go balls out. So, moving forward, we have Paige versus Emma, and all I gotta say,
act like we should remember who Emma is. I don't know. It's just weird how they just have her on a match on Raw out of nowhere.
It didn't make it. I mean, they should have shown the main event segment, honestly.
Yeah.
They should have. I don't get why they didn't. But, I mean, I think it is cool to see her on the main roster. But the biggest news coming out of this segment is we got our mystery partner for the babyface team at WrestleMania.
What WWE thought, because Eva Marie came out and she got booed out of the building just like how she does on NXT. Talk about what the WWE thought was going to happen with this, please.
Huh? Yeah, Dave Meltzer reported earlier today that that WWE creative, the people who are in charge of booking, basically thought that she was going to get a warm reaction. They thought they were thinking in the back of their heads, hey, the people who watch NXT aren't the same people who watch, the main product. And, I guess they assumed because Eva Marie's on Total Divas.
Brooklyn.
Well, not only is
it a likable character on Total Divas.
Not only is it Brooklyn, not only is it, WrestleMania season, so you get smarkier crowds anyways. But even if it wasn't a smarky crowd, when in her entire career she's been a likable character on WWE television, or For that matter, on Total Divas. I mean, I don't watch a lot of Total Divas, but every time I've seen her, she's been portrayed as a bitch, right? I mean, except for maybe when she was doing her Brian
If
Kendrick
she's
stuff.
ready, then Deonna Purrazzo's ready.
Huh? Yeah, she almost killed Carmella a couple months ago. Well, not killed, but I mean, she hurt Carmella pretty bad and with a kick to the head a
Deonna
couple months
Purrazzo's
ago.
badass.
So, dude, yeah,
She's on a
I
level
don't.
of heat. We don't boo her because she's a heel. We boo
I
her
think
because we legit hate her.
I think they did cover their ass a little bit. They covered their ass a little bit with, the divas were kind of like, why the hell is she out here with us? And then I also will say that if Eva ends up costing that team the match, which who cares really about this match in the first place?
I
Right?
hate
No one
anyone, but
does.
it's just so
And
bad.
no one really cares about this match. But
No,
I mean, if
100%.
but I bet that Eva Marie ends up costing Team Total Divas this match.
I just don't give a damn.
And that's perfectly legitimate right there. Moving forward, we have Snoop Dogg's in the Hall of Fame, so good job,
Hopefully,
Snoop.
something doesn't.
OG. Oh God, I looked. That was so white of me. Oh man, sorry about that, Snoop. No, but moving forward, we have the biggest filler match I've ever seen on Raw ever.
This match seemed like it lasted like 2 hours.
You had Kevin Owens, Miz, and Stardust face off against Sami Zayn, Ziggler, and Sin Cara. And let me just tell you,
One little note. Why did Sami Zayn come out second instead of last? Nobody cheered for Dolph Ziggler.
Who really
Cheered for
cares?
Sami. I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so many things about this. I mean, technically it was a decent match, but I mean, you had it go on for 25 minutes. The crowd wasn't having it. They hijacked the match. Yeah, I don't know. It was just there to get, I guess, kill time. But it was 3 segments long, and basically it ended when KO got pinned clean by Zayn after a haluva kick. I mean, I guess it's not 100% clean because KO's partners left him, but I mean, it was pretty
because
clean.
earlier his whole gimmick in this match was he'd get tagged in and then he'd like tag right back out.
Yeah, so there's that.
No,
Which leads
the whole thing with this match was there was or Olay chants, loud ass CM Punk chants, how you doing chants, RBD chants, Mrs. Movie chants, and New Day chants. The crowd didn't care about this match.
Nope.
And a bunch of other stuff. You know the match is bad when they chant Byron Saxton.
It's very true.
Hey, JBL. I don't know if they chanted Maggle, but
I could care less of really, honestly, like at this point, I could care less about the crowd chants too. It's just it was a crappy Raw.
that's what made the show better than it was. It wasn't good. I'm just saying the crowd was good.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Which leads us to our main event. Now let me. No. Let me tell you what I wrote down before this main event started.
You told me.
It says right here on my little paper here. It says prediction before this segment even begins. Roman gets his comeuppance. Well, Roman got his comeuppance, and let me tell you how this kind of went down. So first off, Cole said that Reigns versus Triple H is the main event of WrestleMania. So I guess that is going on last, which is Jesus. There's that.
Yeah, no one to care.
Stephanie McMahon was cut the same promo she's cut the last 2 weeks about how we wish we were like Roman Reigns, and I don't. No, we don't. We don't wish we were Roman Reigns. We don't identify with Roman Reigns, and honestly, we kind of like you guys, even though you guys are pricks, better than Roman Reigns. So that should tell you something about Roman Reigns. The crowd was dead. There wasn't even they weren't even trying to hijack it. It was just cold. The segment was cold, and it was the most predictable Raw segment of all time. I mean, oh look, they stacked the odds against Reigns. When have we ever saw that before? Is he going to overcome the odds? To me, it is dumbfounding how after 2 long years of failure, the WWE still thinks they can get Reigns over by stacking the deck against him. He is not an underdog. He is a 6'3", 265-pound Samoan badass with movie star good looks. Stop insulting our intelligence. Okay, Go ahead and talk. Go ahead and talk. I want to show you guys something.
Oh, God. I mean, this segment was just so predictable. They said the same
Guys,
thing they said earlier.
look at my screen right now. Look at my screen. Does that man look like an underdog to you?
Yeah, go follow Casual Smarks on Twitter, by the way.
In what world? Yeah, there's our Twitter handle. In what world is that guy a freaking underdog? I will give $100. I don't know if you see that. I tweeted it out. I will give $100 to the first person who can tell me why that guy's an underdog. Or how. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, no. I mean, that's your main event of WrestleMania. Aren't you so excited?
No, I don't give a shit about this match.
Here, let me get back to
the
me.
only matches I care about is the Undertaker Shane match, the Triple Threat Divas match, and the No Holds Barred match. Otherwise, I don't care about anything else.
Yeah. I'm right with you. I mean, I think it might end up being a good WrestleMania because we have such low expectations for it, but that doesn't, give them an excuse to put out shit like they put out.
I mean, I would say the AJ Styles thing, but he's already wrestled Chris Jericho 3 times and beat him twice.
No, there's been no really good builds. The Divas match probably had one of the better builds, and the Brock Lesnar, Dean Ambrose stuff, but isn't even going to matter in the end. It's going to be interesting. We'll see. But we're going to go through a full rundown of this show on Saturday. So stay tuned because we're going to make sure we're going to give you our thoughts, our predictions for the matches, and and our opinions on the angles going in. But what would you give this Raw out of 10, Steve?
A 3.
A 3?
It is It is the Raw before WrestleMania, and it's still disappointed. I only like the Undertaker Shane stuff. And even that I didn't even find as interesting.
Yeah, same here. I gave it a 2. I mean, it's unacceptable to me to put out a show like they put out last night, the week before WrestleMania. There's no excuse for them to underperform the week before WrestleMania. There was way too much filler. I mean, pretty much the entire show was filler, and yeah, it was underwhelming at its very best. Unfortunately, dude, it looks like watching WWE TV is going to get a whole hell of a lot worse than it's going to get better.
What are they going to do after the Raw after WrestleMania?
I have no idea.
Because if they put out this product, the ratings are just going to drop.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. But that's going to be it for this podcast, you guys. Sorry, it's kind of a shorter one. But make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And stay tuned because on Thursday we'll have NXT predictions. On Friday we'll have NXT coverage. And Saturday we'll have WrestleMania predictions. Sunday we'll have a post-WrestleMania podcast. It's going to be a busy week for us. You ready for the grind?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right, guys. This is Matt from the Casual Smarks.
This is Steven. Go follow us on Twitter. Submit us any questions you have that could be answered on future podcasts.
Oh, I was just going to say, and that's it. Deuces.
Peace.